and we are being told that this was a draw, that both armies won. Okay, no, let me get Sumit Peer into this conversation. Sumit, now, of course, this is the problem, and you've been sitting with me a long time. The reason for several years, we have simply stopped engaging with a sensible conversation, a place where a sensible conversation cannot be had. So, obviously, Pakistan lost in 71, half their largest part of their population, which was in East Pakistan, became an independent country. It's an independent country. India does not have a standing in any independent country. Dhaka doesn't call the shots here. We don't intend to call the shots there. I can tell you Pakistan doesn't call the shots there either. I can argue that Mohammad Yunus is an unelected person who did a coup. And I can tell you that didn't happen with the help of the Pakistanis, probably happened with the help of somebody else sitting in Washington. But those are my assessments and opinions. But I can't argue with the fact that an unconditional surrender was signed in Dhaka. So here is the issue, Sumit. What we should be addressing is that, okay, something bad has taken place, all right. Nobody conscionably wants to see that taken place. Let's work together, and whatever you need. So if your house is clean, Sumit, and a murder has taken place in your house, and I'm the police, I come to you and you say, sir, you come and search the house, you take whatever witness testimony you need, you take whoever fingerprints, you can take my narco test, you can do whatever you want. However I can help you solve this murder, I will help you. Or you can say that no, the murder never happened, or indeed the police planted the body in your house to frame you. We can go down several paths. Correct. What do we do if we are going down the path because the Pakistani people are being told, no, this wasn't a terror act, this was actually a false flag operation done by Modi to blame Pakistan. For what reason, rhyme or purpose, God knows. What do we do now?
Rishabh ji, thanks for having me on your show. Look, the problem with Pakistanis is a state of constant denial because, this time around, they shot above this weight. Asim Munir never thought this will have a repercussion of this proportion. He never thought that he is the person under whose watchful eye Pakistan will disintegrate into 4 parts. Look at the Pakistani generals. Ayub Khan lost 65, then Niazi lost 71, Ziaul Haq lost Siachen, Musharraf lost Kargil, and now this Asim Munir is going to lose Pakistan and it's going to be broken into 4 parts. So from the history of the military generals of Pakistan, they're always seeming losing Pakistan.
But Sumit, I'm trying to identify, because a reasonable conversation would be that yes, look, we fought the wars. The Pakistani military performance in those wars hasn't been the best. Okay. Yes, we lost in 71. We surrendered the more populous half of our country, which became an independent country. Correct. Yes, we've been dealing with terrorism, and yes, in the past, Musharraf has admitted, Khwaja Hafiz has admitted just yesterday that yes, we've sponsored terrorism in the past. We don't want to do it anymore because it's not good for us either. So let's try to move on and work together. I mean, that would be a conversation which is worth having. But when we are being told that no, nothing like this ever happened, there is no terrorism in Pakistan, nobody in Pakistan ever sponsored terrorism, we won all our wars, we have nuclear weapons, we'll teach you a lesson, tum kaun hote ho, not understanding the economic situation in Pakistan. I mean, with forex reserves of $10 billion compared to $700 billion, there are more Muslims today in India than there are in Pakistan. How do we get past this? What do we do if there is a whole country living in denial?
The problem is the military of Pakistan, which does not let people breathe. There's a complete wing of military called ISPR, which has all these proxies which they use, all these journalists disguised as them, and all these commentators who work for them are basically on their payroll, and if they have to live in Pakistan and breathe there, they have to toe the line because ISPR wants you to tell, look, there's not a war happened, we have not done it.
But that's not true of all Pakistanis. Some of them do speak out. Some of them are very, very attuned to reality that we are in deep trouble economically. We are becoming a pauper country. We have to go around asking for money. It's not a happy situation, and that's not who we want to be.
Rishabhji, they know it, but the problem is that the military wants you to toe that line. Military wants you to believe this. Military wants you to be in hallucination. While 4G, Asgari, and Bharia foundations do a business of $100 billion and make a profit of $20 billion. 30% of the GDP of Pakistan is controlled by these three. Today, military makes diapers, baby powder, champi ka tel, to everything. That is what the general said. Where are all the ex-army chiefs of Pakistan? How many of them live in Pakistan?
All of them are abroad.
They ultimately
One
leave
is
Pakistan.
in Riyadh, I know, and Dubai, they have houses in Dubai, London, Macau.
And I will quote General Bajwa. Didn't he say before leaving, यार तुम लड़ाई क्या लड़ोगे? तुम्हारे पास टैंक में पेट्रोल डालने के पैसे नहीं है, तुम्हारे बंदूक की गोली नहीं, खाने की रोटी नहीं. How are you going to fight these wars? Wars are expensive. And this bluff of Pakistan, we are nuclear armed and all, is a perpetual bluff which they live in.
Okay, so
And
you
TRF
can
took the
attempt.
responsibility.
Obviously, we are going to disagree on many things. Okay,
Right.
Two perspectives are going to disagree on many things. Okay, but if we, and the reason I asked the question about 71 war, because if we disagree on who won the 71 war, it's like saying, no, actually, Germany won or it was a draw. World War II was a draw. Okay, think Germany was a small country and against it was big countries like Russia, US, UK, France. So if you balance everything, it was a draw. If you hear answers like that, then you can't have a reasonable conversation. So we can agree on nothing. And that becomes a difficult conversation to have. Okay, but that's not all Pakistanis. Okay, Sumit, I want you to listen to this. Because there are other Pakistanis on the streets who are saying all sorts of things. I want us to get a perspective. We'll just take a small snippet, 30 seconds, then I'll come back and open this conversation. 30 seconds, listen in.